Good morning, bro. Sunrise is fucking paying today. Look at that. You gotta stop letting men fuck your future wife, bro. Good morning, and what a message to wake up to. Yesterday, I went on YouTube, and there was a video from this like small self-improvement creator, and you might be watching this. And in the video, he slyly hinted that he was gonna disagree with a self-improvement YouTuber, and he didn't say my name, but he goes on to say like, oh, well, you don't need to become an Adonis, you don't need to become successful when you're young, just relax, take the pressure off you. And it's one of those videos, it's like Jeffrey propaganda video, where he's kind of like saying, oh, well, you don't need to be as like sort of strict and disciplined as Hamza, you don't need to be on the timetable, it's okay to play video games. And straight away in my mind, I'm looking at this guy, and maybe you've been able to see some guys who do this. I'm looking at this guy thinking, okay, he actually looks like he's pretty educated. He's quite attractive. And just straight away, I realized how fucking, like, this is kind of weird, and, maybe he'll disagree or something, but maybe he doesn't even realize what he's done. But maybe you do now. From that analogy I gave you, where life as a man is like a race. Literally, it's like, a marathon, a 100 meters. Like, life as a man is like a marathon, but you have to sprint. Life as a man is like a fucking unending sprint, but a long distance race, but you have to sprint. And if you stop sprinting and another man passes you, the dark side of male life, which no one talks about, which all these like feel good productivity, like, oh, well, don't be on self-improvement, guys, just play 1 hour of video game, and I mean, it's fine to watch. What all these guys don't tell you is that the dark side of male life is that when you slow down and your value decreases and another man surpasses you, that man will take what you wanted. Life as a man is competition. It is dominating other men. Why? Like the primal urge that we have is to level up the social hierarchy so our status increases and we get more access to women. Any guy who isn't really in touch with this, who is like straight, obviously, like, I can only speak for like heterosexual beings, but any guy who is straight and isn't in touch with this and says like, oh, well, it doesn't matter, whatever, it's just deluding himself, because we have this one primal desire inside of us. It is the single greatest motivator that you will ever be able to tap into if you allow yourself to do so. So imagine this analogy. Life as a man is like all of us, all the men are all in this massive race. And so, way at the front is like the most successful, most desirable guy ever. And way at the back is like those fatties who don't even try to run the race. The weird manipulative thing that I'm seeing from these like creators online, for people who disagree with me, is that they will disagree with me and tell young men to not strive for success. They will tell young men to ease up on this race. They will tell young men to take the pressure off, to take off the accelerator, to stop running, and to just like, enjoy the scenery. They will tell this to young men without realizing how fucking hurtful that is. Because if you have experienced life as a guy who isn't running this race, it's not a fucking good life. You feel horrible because the race is going on with or without you. And I have experienced life like close to the back of this race, smoking weed till 4 a.m. in the morning, jacking off 6 times because these motherfuckers are telling me like, oh, well, don't push yourself too hard, guys. And you have, honestly, like two main, like there's a couple of guys, but like there's two, like first it was just me. Honestly, like I started this fucking big movement telling guys like, come on, work hard. And then Andrew Tate popped up, and this is the reason why I respect him so much, because he literally got so viral telling guys like, work harder. So that, do you know what the dynamic of this is? We're all in this race, and we're all like competing against each other, and at the end of this race, there is the finish line, and there are all of the beautiful women. And most of the women, it's like an 80-20 rule, most of the women will pick the winners. Like one winner, like the single, best winner ever. This is why some guys, honestly, you might not believe this, but you will believe it, but you won't be able to relate, and I don't either. Some guys have slept with thousands of women. And you might say, oh, disgusting, degenerate and stuff, and yet technically it is. But you cannot help but have some kind of weird level of respect for that kind of guy. Think, how the fuck did he even do that? Because no matter what social conditioning we have, no matter what religion we follow, and it's degenerate to like fuck thousands of women or anything, your body count as a man, especially with women of like higher qualities, especially if then those women love you and then you like provide and you're like a family man and shit, if your success with women literally does kind of show your success in the rest of your life. So where and how fast you run in this race determines then the quality and also quantity of women that you attract. And that's one of the most important parts of our lives, even though so many guys act like they're too cool for girls and they've got this like weird hate for girls. It's so interesting that like a lot of people, like, you know, I've been branded as like a misogynist, and people don't realize like how much I fucking desire and like respect women to think like, fuck, I'm doing this because I understand I have this like primal desire that's one of the, like, a woman is one of the most important things for me. And it probably is for you if you actually like just, you know, strip away from this like Sigma male grind set bullshit and you just sit there with your thoughts and think, fuck, I have such a huge desire for love and intimacy. Chances are, like, you know, you're maybe what, 20 years old. Bro, 100 years ago, me and you would have been married with kids at this age. Our purpose in life would have been set. Think about how hard we would have been working 100 years ago, when like the race of men meant that if we were successful by age 18, maybe 16, we would have married and had children. Imagine how fucking good that would have felt. Men work hard for women, for the thought of family, for the thought of children. And so it fucking bothers me when I see these guys put you down and tell you, oh, you're working too hard. Oh, you don't need to become an Adonis. Hamza's putting too much pressure on these kids. Because you know what, this weird, manipulative, this motherfucker who I saw make this YouTube video, and he doesn't even realize that he's done this, so he's not that bad of a person, but he is spreading a very toxic message. And I know I seem toxic with this, but when you like, hopefully you can kind of understand this and be like, wait, this guy in the bathrobe is actually not toxic. If anything, he's one of like the most helpful fucking male figures out there right now, who's actually putting a good amount of pressure on young men and telling them that you need to work harder. Why? Because some of these slimy guys in this race, what happens if you slow down? What happens if you slow down, bro? Imagine there's a ghost in this race. So you can imagine this, right? So we're all in a race, we're all competing against each other, and at the end, the finish line of this race, the most important like reward of life of like a man being attractive and successful, the biggest desire we have, as much as, you know, guys say like they don't care about girls, it is literally the biggest desire we have is love, intimacy. Okay, so women are there at the finish line. That's like the reward of us being like good men, so that we can attract a good woman to have children with. That's the single most important thing you will ever do. And that's, imagine how fucking beautiful that is. That's why we run. That's why we run in this race. That's why we work hard. That's why we stop imagine being in this race and then just stopping for 20 minutes to just distract yourself with porn or some shit. That's why we stop watching porn. That's why we stop playing video games. Imagine running this race and then just stopping in the race, sitting down like one of those like little camp chairs, like sit on the race and start playing fucking Madden or like whatever game people, like Fortnite or some shit, for like 2 hours, and like everyone's running, all these guys are running past you. And guess what happens? This is the dark part, right? This is the part which like is fucking, it hurts to talk about. When another man runs past you and you lose some of your potential, you lose that woman that was gonna be yours. Imagine on this race with all these other guys, there is a ghostly figure. That ghostly figure is your potential. And it should bother you seeing that ghost way up there, but you're way back here because, well, you know, like I watched this random video and this guy told me I don't need to be an Adonis, so I don't have to work so hard. I'm just taking self-improvement too seriously. I'm gonna sit here and just play video games. The ghost of your potential is going to be running right there, and the ghost of your potential is going to get who should have been your future wife and the mother of your children. But you won't. That was your potential. That was like as good as you could have been to get like the woman who was going to be yours, like the best woman ever. And you literally will have to settle when you're a little bit older and it's time to like, you know, find the woman that you actually want to have children with. You'll have to settle on her quality. And I know that's kind of like an insult to her. Like, obviously, like, she's an imaginary being right now, and I don't mean to be like randomly insulting to some woman. But like, the worse of a man that you are, the worse of a woman that you're going to attract. And this is also the case not only for your potential, but this is what guys find quite hard to hear in this sort of modern, sort of soft narrative that, you know, we're all in this together kind of bullshit. When you slow down and another man speeds up and he surpasses you, he takes what was going to be yours. And I don't want to like put some like gross visualizations, but like, bro, another man will fucking impregnate the woman who was going to be yours. if you slow down in this race. And you can say that's toxic, but that is literally, like, how else would you explain the primal desires that we have? That is literally the truth of things. That's why it's so important to work hard and use like a feeling of competition with other men as like the reason to, like, wake up early, and that's so deeply motivating, and it feels really nice as a man. Hang on, my bathroom's going on. I'm stood on the balcony, my dick just popped out. It feels really nice fuck me, bro. It feels really nice as a man to, like, keep another man in mind and think, yeah, like, he's doing so well right now, I've got to make sure that I'm doing so well. And then the dark part of these manipulative, like, horrible kind of, like, I don't really, like, I know that they don't mean to be manipulative, but you can probably kind of think of the guys that I'm talking about who are telling you, like, oh, well, Hamza's been too serious. You don't need to follow him. You don't need to go that hard. Andrew Tate, like, no, but he's so toxic. He's telling guys, like, to act like this. He's preaching too much of, like, work. He has a quote, which I fucking love once, which was like, if you teach a woman how to make $1,000 an hour, she'll think, oh, sweet, she'll think, oh, sweet, I can work for 1 or 2 hours per week and I'll be done. And of course, you can say that's sexist or something, but I would change woman to feminine person. Then you can't say it's sexist because it's including men and women. If you teach a feminine person how to make $1,000 an hour, they'll say, oh, sweet, okay, I only need to work 2 hours and then I'm free for the week. If you teach a masculine person how to make $1,000 an hour, he'll think, sick, I can make $18,000 a day. And obviously this is on a huge spectrum. If you're like totally masculine, that's what you'll be thinking, right? That sort of mindset of his, which is like ruthless, relentless work, and he's like telling that to young guys. They need to hear it. You need to hear messages like this from successful men telling you, yeah, you shit, like, bro, you have to, like, take this shit seriously. You have to work hard. Think about, like, that's the message I'm telling you right now, and think people actually want to silence me. People are making, like, almost hate critical videos of me, saying, like, oh, well, you don't have to become an Adonis. You can just, it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to, like, just unwind and play video. How are video games unwind? Show me some science where your brain actually rests while playing video games. There's only like 2-3 things that you can do to unwind. And don't you fucking bullshit. Don't listen to anyone who tells you, like, oh, well, just 1 hour of video games at the end of the day to unwind. Bro, your brain and your body is not unwinding and resting when you're playing video games, when you're fucking around. You want to really unwind, you want to, like, rest properly. You follow self-improvement the way that I do it, and you sleep. You meditate. You do the things that actually improve, like, your brain's ability to rest. Not this, like, cope up, like, oh, well, I need to rest at the end of the day, so I'm going to play a video. Shut up. And just seeing this guy's video, and he was literally just saying this, like seriously saying this, like, oh, there's a dark side of self-improvement. You don't need to, like, listen to these guys who are pressuring you. You don't need to become successful when you're young and everything. Just, just relax and take your foot off the gas. You've heard people talk like this, haven't you? You've heard people who've made response videos to me and saying, oh, well, he's too serious with video games. What these guys, perhaps consciously or unconsciously, what they're actually doing, when you think about this race of men, they want you to slow down. Why? Think about that. This guy is in the race alongside you, and he's running, like, both of you are running next to each other, right? And he's like, oh, bro, just slow down, bro. Yeah, bro, don't worry, just take a rest, bro. Play some video games for a bit. Watch some anime. And you're like, oh, well, I can watch anime. Okay, yeah, sweet. So you sit down on your fucking foldable camping chair, sit down, watch anime, and you think, oh yeah, like, sweet. Me and this guy are gonna rest right now. We're gonna watch some anime. And like, wait, where did he go? And he's way up there, fucking your future wife, bro. He's way up there. He's surpassed you now. Why would you let that happen? This is how to know if a man has good intentions for you. Literally, I know this sounds weird. Like, I know a lot of my advice sounds kind of like I'm insulting you. But think about what the purpose of that advice is. Think about the purpose of the message that you get from a man. And this is the easiest way to find out if a man is trying to manipulate you or trying to help you. And this will make you look at creators in a very different way. Think about the purpose of their advice. What are they trying to get you to do? Because if a guy is trying to get you to speed up on this race and he's actually teaching you and, like, proper telling you, come on, man, speed up, like I am. I'm literally telling you, like, bro, do fucking nothing, like, do no bad habits at all and be as, like, fast in this race as possible. Then you know that a man has good intentions for you. Then you know that shit, that is a man who's so secure in this place, like, in his place in the race, that he actually just wants you to run faster for the sake of it. I don't want to be condescending, but I'm so secure in the race. I'm so far ahead of you, and I don't say that to be like insulting and you can go, oh, Hamza's boasting, but I am so far ahead of you and like literally 99.9999% of men my age that like I can tell you to speed up because you're way back there, bro. I'm fucking lapping everyone of my age right now. There's like fucking 10 like really successful guys past me right now. Yeah, fair enough. But there's like, bro, there's hundreds of you just right behind me. I'm like, come on, bro, just come on. You know, if you meditate, you'll be able to run faster, bro. If you eat like this certain kind of diet, you'll be able to run faster. Come on, boys, come on. Because I have no fear that you're gonna be able to surpass me and fuck my future wife because I'm already doing like I'm working relentlessly. I've already got the snowball of like success and everything, and of course, you know, I could get hit with some like fucking like disability or some shit. Do you know what I mean? It can happen, but like, it's very unlikely with my own control that I will lose this place in the race now. Or there's another kind of man whose purpose, like the message of his advice is to tell you to slow down. Just keep this in mind as you go about like your day to day, and you also like you know you go on YouTube and you're seeing all these creators that you're subscribed to. Just really ask yourself, just today, like do this experiment. Look at all the creators you know on YouTube that you watch, and just kind of like look at their face and just think, what is the message he's sending me? Is the message he's sending me one in which my position in this race will like I'll run faster in this race, or is he telling me to like slow down and enjoy the scenery? Because most of the good boys who would never get cancelled, most of like these like you know really like productive looking guys with like clean shirts and everything and like no beards and shit, bro, they'll tell you to like, oh, just you know don't worry, just like just enjoy yourself. Just go watch some anime. They're trying to fuck your future wife, bro, and maybe they don't even realize it, but like that's their like you know every man has strategies and tactics in this race. So it's like, you know, I've got something in my back pocket. For me, it's captivating attention. You watch 16 minutes and 53 seconds of me just sat here with the bathroom. My dick keeps popping out on the balcony. Just me just talking. My secret tactic is like captivating attention, and that's what's making me run faster in this race because it's skyrocketing my success, right? Every man has like strategies and tactics for his ability to like perform better in this race, and for some manipulative guys, theirs isn't for them to run faster. Theirs is for you to run slower. And this is why I respected and still respect Andrew Tate so much, because he went fucking viral with this message of telling the hordes of guys behind him, come on, speed up. Just yesterday, it was actually funny as fuck yesterday. I was sat in here, and for the first time, bro, I literally just went on my phone and just started watching YouTube. Like, I haven't watched YouTube in pretty much like a month or something, but I started watching YouTube. And I just started watching like the Andrew Tate podcast over like the last like 2 weeks that I haven't like been watching. There was a point where I was watching them like every day and everything, and I haven't watched them for a while, but then I saw that there's quite a few ones. There's like Piers Morgan, and then there's the real estate guy and everything. So I started watching him for like half an hour, just here by myself, right? And Anastasia's in the other room right now, but she was in the kitchen. Then, you know, I'm kind of like, oh, you know, I'm just watching YouTube by myself. It's kind of sad, whatever. Then I go out to the kitchen. I walk into where she sat, and she's just on the couch watching the same fucking podcast. And we both just laughed out loud, and we were like, come on, man, let's just watch it together. So we literally just had like a little date night, like lit a candle and shit, ordered food, and just sat there watching Andrew Tate podcast. And we, you know, we were hyped with it. It was the Piers Morgan one. And I haven't watched his content for a while, but like, it really fucking hit me, man. That's the kind of guy he is telling men to run faster in this race, and I respect that. And what I noticed from that podcast, and what I expect from people who kind of give their viewpoints on a man like me, they will only focus on our negatives. They will only focus on the controversial things. And like Piers Morgan, for example, he focused on all of like the negative, controversial things, Andrew Tate. But like, those are like 5% of all the shit that he said. This is what bothers me about this modern day. Is like, someone will look at me, like, you know, someone who's not part of our culture, they'll look at me and say, oh, you know, crazy guy and everything, oh, he's a sexist, oh, he's like too extreme and shit. They'll say that, and then they won't talk about the 600 videos that I've done talking about men's mental health and like discipline and working on yourself and feeling better as a young man. They won't ever, like, you know, some like podcast, if I don't do that shit, I don't like the drama and shit, but if I ever went onto a podcast with like some feminists or something, she'd only ever like bring out all these points of like me, or, you know, like if I go into a podcast with one of these guys who are trying to fuck your future wife and they're telling you it's okay to play video games, if I go into one of them, they'll only talk about the negative things. They'll never take some time to say like, shit, like, you know what, your videos actually helped me, and clearly your videos have helped hundreds of thousands of young men. Piers Morgan, like, very, very briefly, almost like brushed past that truth. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. If someone has helped thousands and thousands of young men who are literally the most in need kind of person right now, they've got my respect. This was just it's not quick, but yeah, this was just a morning message, man. Don't trust any man who's telling you to slow down in this race. Really seriously evaluate the guys on your YouTube page, and if it seems like they're literally telling you to slow down, bro, if you had some fucking respect for yourself, you'd unsubscribe from them straight away. I don't blame this guy. Like, the video that I'm talking about, he had like 1,000 subscribers, maybe 500 views on this video, and he was just insinuating it. He was speaking about me, and he was just saying, oh, well, you know, like, he's wrong. Like, you don't have to become an Adonis when you're young. You can just do whatever you want. Like, you know, you don't have to become successful. And I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and just think, okay, he's not that clued up on young men's issues. Of course he is a young man, but like, he doesn't really understand. He doesn't have like the sort of quantity and repetition that I have of seeing what guys struggle with. Because what young men need is not this same fucking bullshit pussy feminine narrative of like, oh, well, you know, just just relax and just enjoy yourself, you know, just take a day off. They don't need that, bro. Young men don't need that message. Young men need the message of like, shut the fuck up, forget your feelings and go and do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Go and conquer the day. Skyrocket your discipline. Young men need to hear that kind of message. You've been fed this conditioning for so long of like, you don't need to work hard and, you know, just play some video games. Oh, it's okay. I'm just too excited. You've been fed that for so fucking long, and it's led you to a life where you weren't even happy. Don't listen to these guys who are telling you to do otherwise, man. Let's wrap this up, bro. It's 7 a.m. right now. Deep working. Done an hour and a half of deep work this morning. Been smashing it, bro. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I've produced like probably about £50,000 worth of value in the last 3 days of my work, and you'll see that come up soon. Fucking big boy moves, man. Beautiful day in London as well. Beard's looking nice in it, bro. God, I'll let you go, bro. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. I play video games if you want, bro. Shut up.